Welcome to the Soul Tribe Podcast. The Soul Tribe Podcast was created to help you navigate through the world of spirituality, wellness, and self-development in an easy, grounded, and relatable way. We break down everything from the Akashic records, manifesting, spirituality, and so much more. We want to help expand your boundaries and bring the spiritual world to you in a fun and easy way. Get ready to be inspired with tips, tools, and easy to digest information. Let's do this.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Soul Tribe Podcast. Today, Lorena and I want to spend some time talking about the energies and the astrological kind of things coming up specifically for April 12th and on. So we'll get into that. But I thought it was really important for us to be aware of it, for everybody to know about it. I've previously kind of talked about it like really rapidly. And when I did my 3D 4D episode where I was trying to get everybody to kind of walk more into 4D and less into 3D to prepare themselves for the energy of, mid-April that was coming in, that you can like totally use to your advantage. So that's why I was talking about that. So I guess let's start with our updates if we have any, and then we can go on to that. What's yours?
So I'm in Uruguay right now. So I've been working
and
from
you're
here.
Sitting, like it's so weird seeing you sit in your old room.
I am in my old room. Isn't that crazy? It feels very strange after everything we've been through and being away from here for so long. Just being here, it feels weird, but at the same time really good. And been really just buckling down with work. We're really working hard to get level 2 up for May. So fingers crossed, everybody, that we will have that for May. We'll know within the next week or two the exact launch date. So that's really exciting. And there's a lot of info. I keep going through all the material that we've recorded, and it's just taking hours and hours to go through it all. And it's so funny, like in the moment where you're talking and saying things and talking from experience and talking about like technical things and talking about reading other people's records, I don't even realize what I say, but everything we say, I'm just like, wow, I said that. What the heck? How did we know to say that and explain it that way? It's so cool. So I'm really, really, really excited that this course is coming out. It'll be online for the moment and for the time being. We have not decided on any dates for level 2 to be on Zoom. So for now, it'll just be an online course. We think that's going to be the easiest. And we'll be putting that up on our site. So you'll have access to that. You'll get access to a lot of stuff. It'll be really amazing. And we know a lot of great Akashic record readers are going to come out of this course. So I'm excited to launch that next month, which is my birthday month. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. And anything else? No, really just getting my creative juices flowing between the editing and just projects that I have going on with friends and clients. And obviously coming home I say home, but it doesn't feel like home. That's something else. Like it's such a weird thing. And I don't know if a lot of people feel the same way, but it's something I'm actually going to talk about in the Patreon this month of triggers and things coming up for me here, and how that could help some of you. And also I'm going to therapy. So a lot of stuff that's coming up through therapy and how maybe some of this information could serve you with maybe not going home, but when you go visit your family or when you go spend time with a loved one, and how we can work through those things, some practical and really good tools for that. And not much else, to be honest, not that I can think of at least. What about you, Lou?
Yeah, that trigger thing that you were saying, like that happened to me when I went. I had a bunch of stuff. I just felt like I was going back to my old self somehow. You're like,
I don't feel that, but I do definitely feel like I'm trying to turn the whole thing around and say I'm here for those triggers to come up so that I can deal with them, and then I can change, or I can treat myself with love through those and realize like I don't want to put my ego into it. I want to really go into it with love, acceptance, and seeing your family members for who they are. You know, it's not trying to change them. It's not trying to make them something that they're not. It's accepting them and loving them through everything, right? And yourself too.
Yeah, but aside from like family, it's like the place brings up somehow who, like you're calling it triggers, but it's like the place brings up who you used to be, and you're staying in the same room and you're sleeping in the same bed, and you have look, I can see behind you, you have the same night light. Like everything's the same. Like mom and dad have barely changed it, so it's like, and
there's
my
some
room was
changes,
the same.
but yeah.
Like when I laid back and I went in my old room and I laid back in my bed, I was like, oh my God, I'm here again.
Yeah.
It's this weird thing of feeling stuck again. Like I'm going to go back to that, but
I don't feel that way at all, actually. I just feel like there's things that I'm here to face and look at and heal. And I feel grateful for that, but it's not easy, right? It's not easy.
No. Okay. Updates. Okay. Updates from my side. I'm nothing. I'm not in Uruguay or anything. Right now I'm in Holland, and it's pretty rainy and windy. We had 1 week where I was feeling like I said, a flower that was alive, and now it's cold and windy again, and I'm not happy about it. And then, the other thing is, today I took a test to see what Ayurveda
Ayurvedic
dosha I am. Oh, I'm saying it in Spanish. Which dosha I am, and apparently I was right there with, it was Pitta. I wrote it down. I'm Pitta, but I was right there with another one. Like by one question, I was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was looking at that, and then I was looking into because I've been doing the fasting. And so I'm trying to detox because I'm aware that when you're losing weight, your fat has toxins and stuff. So I've been making sure to keep my detox stuff up and stuff. And I was looking at the Ayurveda things because I feel like I need to balance some stuff out in myself. And I've never fully looked into ghee.
Oh, it's good. I bought some a while back.
Did you ever buy it? But did you buy the herbal, the medicated ghee? They call it medicated ghee, but it's also called gruta. I'm probably pronouncing it so wrong. Apparently, it's infused with herbs. So I found one that's good for my dosha that's infused with that herb. And I found one here in Holland, from a place that sells it online, right?
Well, do you remember we interviewed, I forgot her name. Sorry.
Yes. About
you should talk to her.
About Ayurveda. Yeah, well, I just went online. I just Googled it. It was pretty easy. So that I was going to tell you about that because I read that it's really good for your gut and you were having gut issues.
Yeah, I'm on a specific protocol for where I'm at with my gut, but I'm going to have different 3-month or 4-month periods of now it's all about probiotics and prebiotics, and it'll be about healing the gut, and then I'm going to something else. So I'm still with there's just a lot of components to it, and there's steps to it depending on what you're going through. So I did buy ghee. She did recommend having ghee, but I like butter more. I think ghee to me smells like cheese.
Are you putting it on toast, or are you cooking with it?
You can cook with it, or you can put it on toast. Some people put it on toast. I just don't like this. It makes everything smell and taste like cheese, and I don't want that. I do love cheese.
Is it supposed to taste like butter?
No, it doesn't smell like butter to me. Every time I'd open the thing, I'm like, oh my God, who's cutting some cheese around here? It was really stinky. That was me. And I don't know. Even I didn't like it because I eat a lot of eggs. So I tried cooking it with egg. I'm like, it doesn't taste like eggs. It tastes like cheese.
It empowered the taste maybe.
Yeah, where butter to me is more neutral. I love butter. It's one of my favorite foods.
I mean, I'm in Holland. The butter and the cheese here is so good.
It's so good, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm doing really good. I'm behaving very well because not only is the butter and the cheese in Holland really good, so is the bread. They have a lot of really good local bakeries.
I ate so much good bread there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like a thing. You'll see people go to the supermarket and buy 3 big bags of fresh baked bread. The image you have of the U.S. supermarket where you go and the white bread is in the Bimbo, for example, bread, right? That it looks half fake. It doesn't even look fully real, just weird.
Yeah.
They don't sell that here. That doesn't exist here. There's none of that.
You said Bimbo, but that's the brand here. in Uruguay.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so I'm remembering the brand in Uruguay. I don't know, remember the brand.
There's
the
a
one that's
brand,
like blue and red or something.
Yeah, it's like red, blue, and white, and it's called Bimbo, which you'll see, and I always laughed at when we moved here. We're like, Bimbo? What the heck? It's called Bimbo, yeah. It's like
okay, well, I'm remembering the Uruguay name.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't have that here. So like you have the bakery next to the supermarket. Every town has their bakery, and everyone buys their bread there, right?
Yeah.
So I was eating a lot of really good bread, even the biologic bread. Like I was obsessed with it. So I've been behaving, and I have barely like maybe 3 slices of bread in a week.
That's great. Yeah, wheat's not good for everybody.
I'm replacing it with...
You should have sourdough. Sourdough's the best. I'm obsessed with sourdough. Oh my God, it's so good. I'm going to see if I can find some here. It's a different way of processing the bread. It's better. It's like easier on your gut.
They have everything here.
Like people with SIBO, a lot can have like sourdough. Like I basically didn't integrate any other bread except sourdough, and my gut like totally tolerated it. It was great.
We only buy really, really brown bread.
Yeah, no, sourdough's like white. You can buy rye sourdough. You can also buy, what's the other one? Like oat. There's like an oat one. I don't remember. There's a bunch.
I think rye is a bit specific in taste. The Danish love it.
The rye to me tastes too strong. It feels too rye. I don't like it. I just like the white sourdough bread. I just think it tastes so good with butter. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I want a piece of bread right now. Anyway, talk about something else.
I replaced it with not rice crackers, but corn crackers.
Yeah, I got some here actually. Mom bought some, and I was like, these are
I like
good.
Corn crackers more than rice crackers for some reason.
I don't like rice crackers. I don't have rice a lot unless it's like sushi or
I'm putting like
Indian
goat cheese on it, and like, it's totally fine. I feel like I'm eating a piece of bread almost. So yeah. I'm happy.
And anything else going on for you?
No, that. Oh, and then before we got on the call, do you know how I've been searching to buy malva, which we say in Uruguay?
I had some the other night here. Malva,
okay, I've been dying to, ever since I moved here. I've been here for almost 4 years, and I can't get that tea. And I've constantly tried to Google translate malva to see what it's called in English, because I never figured out. And before we got on the call, I figured out they call it mallow.
That's mallow? I didn't know that.
Yes, malva is the old Latin word for mallow.
Mallow. Oh, okay.
This took me 4 years of Googling off and on, getting obsessed for eras of time, and then like going, forget it, I give up. I'm never going to find it in Holland or anywhere in Europe. And then I would go back to doing it after a few months. And just now, before getting on the call with you, I found that huge. Out. I went, what? Yes.
I love mallow or malva, whatever you want to call it. I think it's so good for like, it's such an interesting herb. Oh,
I love the taste.
We use it a lot here in Uruguay. Like,
oh my God,
so
Uruguay,
much.
it's the most, everyone has it in their house in Uruguay. Mm-hmm. And like, if we had some sort of like cough, Mom would put leaves in the thing, and we would breathe the, like, we'd inhale the, what's it called?
Like the vapor.
The vapor, like
the steam.
Yeah, we would use it for like so many things on your body, like all the time. It was crazy.
I mean, herbs are a big part of people's lives here. Like just ingesting them and even using them topically. They're really, we're going to have to do a whole, I have a friend that I actually want to bring on to the podcast to talk about herbs and her story, because I think she's such an interesting and beautiful person. So we'll probably have her on, and then we can also talk about, because we know something about herbs as well, and I work with flowers, but I like her story, and I think it's interesting to see how people get into different things. Another thing, talking about tea, I started drinking mate when I got here. I haven't had mate in over 2 and something years, probably like 2.5 years. And I literally could not fall asleep the first night.
It doesn't do anything to me.
I haven't had
What
caffeine.
time are you drinking it?
Oh, it was like in the morning. I had it maybe up to a little bit after lunchtime, and it wasn't even that much. It was probably like 10 cups of mate. It wasn't even that much.
I drink half a liter every single day in the morning.
It's insane, Lou. Like I could not fall asleep. That night I was up till 2:30 in the morning. It was good in the sense like I was editing the like level 2, so it helped me edit a little longer that night. But then the next day I was dead. I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I need to be careful with, making sure I still have decaf stuff, even coffee. I'm having caffeinated coffee, which I never have. So it's pretty,
well, maybe
pretty
you
crazy.
drank both, and that's the thing. Because I
usually
don't drink any
both,
coffee.
Yeah. I have just decaf and I love it. I love the taste of coffee though.
Oh yeah, but I don't have to have caffeine.
So you found mallow.
Like
that's so good. Oh my gosh.
Well, I found the word. I found out right before we were on the call, so I need to look to see if I can find it, but I can probably find it.
Now that let me know. Like I'm here. I can always like send you some.
When I went to Uruguay, I went to the local store that sells all those herbs and stuff with Mom, and they were out. And I was about to leave, and I was like, no.
If I find some, I'll let you know. Maybe I can ship it to you. I don't know.
No, it's fine. I'll now that I have the translation, I'll probably find it. And it's not even worth shipping. It's like $75 to ship stuff. It's ridiculous.
Oh, gosh. All right.
From Uruguay and Cayman and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. I think that's all my updates. I think that's about it. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So let's get into the episode then. I want to intro it in.
So we're both kind of studying astrology. I'm much more behind than you are, and I'm going really slow. So I ended up having like the classes, they gave it to you recorded, and I never ended up making it to all the lives, especially with Aurora in my life. Like I'm so busy. So I like literally maybe watch one video a month. So it's going to take me a really long time to finish it. But I do follow this astrologer who in Spanish, who I really like. I really like, how he explains things, and he's a very artistic energy. So it's really cool to get his perspective on things. And, he always talks about, because not a lot of astrologers talk about this, but he does. He always talks about, and I don't remember the name in Spanish, but it's like the energies of the world. It's spanned out, and you can see it curve up and down. So when it goes up, we're like usually having like golden eras in the golden age, and it's like there's a lot of well-known spiritual people from the way past who have talked about all those peaks and how it always brings a massive awakening, and how it always brings like enlightenment and new eras of, I guess you can say, new practices, or people kind of doubling down on something, some technique is going to improve their life when you get on the top. But when we get on the bottom, he did this extensive job of, this was like 2 years ago, he did this extensive job of going through all of it and marking the bottom pits of it, what year it was, and what happened in the world. And he went to the 1500s. He went all the way back on the chart.
Wow.
Like he did months of work for this thing. And he shows you, look, war, we were at the world was at the bottom. Look, the Spanish flu, the Black Plague, COVID, another World War I and II, all of them were on the bottom when we were dipping all the way down to the most bottom part. And so is when we were in 2020, when, COVID restrictions and quarantine, all that stuff came into play. We were literally on the most bottom of it. And then wars usually happen right at the time. So now we have the whole confrontation with like Russia and Ukraine. So not weird, because we're still kind of in the bottom, right? So the good news is we've already hit the most bottom part. We've already passed it. So it shouldn't be getting any worse, and it probably won't get worse. From now on, the energies of the world are going to start going up. So we're on our way up. It's like we can, have that in the back of our minds that things are going to get a little bit better at least. So it's super interesting how it's all happening when those energy lines dip.
So who is that astrologer you're talking about?
His name is Pedro Redes.
Okay, I'll see if I can link
his
his
Spanish.
YouTube.
Because most people that listen to us, I don't
There's
know.
some people that they're
Spanish.
bilingual. Yeah, I'll definitely put his info here. I like the other astrologer that you follow, your teacher. What's his name?
Achuta Baba.
Yeah.
From Nightlight Astrology.
Yeah, is he from the States? Where is he from?
Yeah, he's from the States, and that's his name for, what is it? He does, I forgot what practice. He's very into Indian practices and stuff. But yeah, that's where I did my level 1 astrology with him, which now I have all the recordings. Like I've done 4 classes or something, or 5.
It's
so I'm
hard.
very behind, and
There's
the year
just
finished
so much.
already.
Anybody that's studying or wants to study astrology or has studied knows that there is a lot to astrology. There's so many elements, so many things you have to bring together, and like not only like comprehend each one on their own, but then how do they correlate and how do they affect each other, and what does that mean when you bring all that information together, and how do you as obviously you want to authentically communicate things, but how do you communicate that in your own way while honoring, the planets, the signs, the conjunctions, the whatever it is, like it all comes together, the houses, oh my gosh, it's just so much to it. That's why I feel like I'm very hesitant to start doing natal charts, because I feel like I'm not ready. But my goal is for the end of the year to be doing natal charts, because
it's probably the same thing that we felt, or similar to what we felt when we did level 2 and we were going to go read other people. You're like, what am I going to say to this person? Sometimes like I still till this day, like 13 years later, I still to this day go, how am I going to talk to this person for a whole hour and know nothing about them? And like literally it's like, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's one of those things, like eventually you'll get the hang of it. You just need to gain confidence. You need to release the fear.
I agree. And I kind of don't agree at the same time, because it's different. Channeling's one thing and it's very scary, of course. But another thing is when you're talking about technical things where you need to kind of analyze a chart and there's specific information to each part of your chart. I mean, you can't lie. It's there.
Well, no, in the beginning, you're going to be doing it on your own on the side and preparing it. And then after that, it's just reading off the information. So
and then you do one chart, 2 charts, 3 charts, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I already did this in somebody else. I understand this energy now.
Yeah, and you listen to other astrologers, they go, well, normally when the person has, this planet in this house, they usually go through a midlife crisis, blah, 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 blah. Like, they know these, like, the Chuta Baba, like you can hear him talk about how typically a person that would have a reading, or natal chart reading with me, this is usually I find that they'll have this scenario playing out in their life. Like you already, know.
Yeah, it's the experience, the practice for sure. I'm actually in year 3 of astrology, and it's more than anything, it's just practice. We're looking at charts. We're going over a lot of the stuff we went into in year 1 and 2, but then we're going to it's literally practice, and just doing it over and over again with different charts, different people, and different ways of analyzing stuff. It's really interesting. I love astrology. Anyway, you were saying about your teacher and the information. I wonder what that chart is. If we can find it between recording this episode and posting. I would need to go back
all the way to his YouTubes in 2020 where he was showing it, because I do not remember the name. He had it on his computer. He shared his screen. He was showing it. And he was showing all the dates that he marked. So I would need to go way back in his videos and try to find it and see what he calls it in Spanish, and then find the English translation for it, of course. Yeah.
Or even just linking the video so people can see it. That'd be interesting. We'll see if we can do that.
Yeah, it's going to take probably some work to find it. So we'll see if I do. He makes a lot of videos. So yeah. So that I find that really, really interesting. And another thing he found, I think he's amazing. I love following that guy, because he finds things that other astrologers don't. I don't know why, but he does. The other thing that's interesting is in 2025, he said he went through every day, boom, 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 and started seeing all the charts change. And he found the Star of David, what looks like the Star of David, on a specific day in 2025, which coincides with revelations of a bunch of people, like prophecies of people saying that the age, this like golden age of the world coming in. So I was like, whoa, yet another coincidence of like the sacred Star of David. Like you could just see all the conjunctions. I don't know if they call those conjunctions. You can see them, and it just looks so in harmony.
Cool.
I didn't really I don't know all the aspects of it, because I'm really in the basics of astrology still.
Technical,
but
yeah.
He even talks about how he was surprised when he saw it.
That's so cool.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but he literally said he went through every day to see how it changed.
Yeah, and it's so interesting how each astrologer does things their own way. And I think that's the same thing with channelers, right? Like each person's going to bring an element. Maybe he's really into history and he's really into looking at things and analyzing things in charts. Whereas another astrologer is more into like the whimsical and the more spiritual side of it. And there's different kinds of astrology too. So I'm not sure what kind of astrology he's into. Do you know?
He does personal charts, and he said that I think he started doing worlds more like
mundane. Yeah, I think it's
mundana. Yeah,
mundane. I think
he started doing that. I think because he was seeing the chaos of the world and kind of wanted to help people understand more. I think that's why I got into it. I don't quote me on that. I'm not fully sure, but I think I heard him talk about that.
I know Patricia's doing that. She's into that these days, and it's pretty cool when she brings stuff like that up in class. I think it's so fascinating.
Yeah, I find it interesting as well. So it's really interesting to see that, and I think that we feel that in a sense. Like, let's take out that graph thing. We kind of already felt that we hit a bit of a rock bottom when we were there, and we kind of knew that, well, all right, things are pretty bad, and give it time. Like, we all felt that. Like, we knew that with time things would start sorting out somehow, but we knew that we had to try to stay in it. Everyone had to go in and do their work and do their stuff. And I think that's the best thing that we can all do. Not only in times where like earth energy is on the bottommost point, but also when you're going through an independent personal life crisis.
Yeah.
Like, that's really when you need to go in and be like, okay, like, what is it that I need to learn from this? It can't get worse than this. Okay, so now let's be positive kind of energy, right?
Yeah, of course. And I think, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody, but I think we all react to things differently. Some of us run away, some of us try to hide, some of us don't want to face things. And it's like, I think everything that's happened in the last couple of years has just been like, no, you can't run away anymore. You can't hide. You can't avoid what's going on. You have to face it. You have to look at it with love. Like we were saying, like the triggers at the beginning of the episode, right? Like, you can't run away from things. They're going to keep biting you in the ass, right? Like, they're going to keep coming back and wanting to be fixed. Like, and the more we try to hide and move away from things, the more they're going to keep bringing up those signs and those triggers and those moments that we know, like, we can't hide from this anymore. It's now or never. That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Yeah. So explain to us what April 12th is.
So April 12th, which from when this episode comes out, we're recording this on April 6th. This episode comes out on April 11th. And on the 12th of April, Jupiter and Neptune are in Pisces. So this is an aspect that apparently happens every I think it's 12 to 13 years. I'm not sure, because I think it depends on the planets and how quickly they move. And some aren't exact. Like, it's not exactly 12 years or 13 years. So I think from what I've researched and looked up, and obviously Pisces is a water sign. It's a very emotional sign, as some of you may know. So the last time these two planets were together, connected to Pisces, when I say together, I mean both connected to Pisces, was back in 1856. And then the next time that's going to happen, guys, is going to be in 2188. What? How is that possible? Yeah. So, because what it says here is, it's from what I've looked up, because I don't know, I'm not good with dates and stuff. Jupiter and Neptune align every 13 years. So just to clear that up, because I don't think that's very clear the way I said it, the last time the two planets connected with Pisces was in 1856 and will be again in 2188. So it's crazy. And
apparently it's a really good position and pair.
It's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So what these astrologers were saying is it's a really good time to up your spiritual game, in the sense of like
manifesting, bringing things to reality, your dreams.
Well, no, they were talking more about being able to go out into your home, like to the spiritual world. So they were talking about lucid dreaming. They were talking about astral travel. Like, it should be easier for you because the energies are in favor of that, being able to, for you to be able to do that. And it carries into May. So you have about 2 months to use that energy to your advantage. I'm already feeling it. It's the 6th of April right now.
I'm
like swallowing these spiritual books up, and I'm comprehending them much, much more than I usually do. Like, I usually have to read, wait, what they say there? Let me reread this. Like, I'm currently reading the Essential Zohar, and it talks a lot about the Zohar and La Torah. How do you say that in English?
The Torah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of talking about those things and like quotes from it, and try to explain it, obviously because it's in Hebrew, so they're translating it and explaining it. And I'm finding that I've never really delved into religion, so this is kind of new for me to even listen a little bit about any religion at all.
It's very cool.
So I'm actually managing to absorb it pretty well, understand it. I'm getting aspects from it that I find really, really interesting. So I think that's the way that I'm receiving it. I think that everyone, also because we're all different and we're all different signs, I think everyone might feel it a little different or something positive. Like whatever you feel called to this month or these days, like I say, like if it's spiritual related, dive into it because you'll probably be able to do it better and understand it more and get more into it.
It's definitely an interesting time to create and bring things to life. So just some people here may not be familiar, I guess, with astrology. And like we said, we're still studying it. We're not doing natal charts yet, but really Jupiter, you can think of Jupiter as the sign of expansion. So a lot of people also consider Jupiter when there's certain things in Jupiter in their like transiting, for example, you have to be careful. You might gain weight, you might expand, you might grow. So it's even in that sense. So Jupiter's a really interesting energy. It's also a good sign. It's a good planet. It's like connected to luck, optimism, and just in general, just this really interesting energy. And then Neptune is the dreamy planet, right? It's more about your dreams, your hopes.
That's why they're associating expansion of the dream,
your dreams,
lucid
exactly.
dreaming, and astral traveling.
So this is such a good time to connect to your desires, to your dreams. This might be a perfect time. Like today if you're listening to it this week, even like you said, this can go into a little further, and we're already feeling it before it even starts.
They said that it goes into past May. So
yeah. I haven't looked up that technicalities of that, but for sure. And remember that when anything, like even when we talk about like Mercury in retrograde, we're like, oh, Mercury will be retrograde from this date, but we're feeling that a week before, sometimes 5-10 days before, and even 5-10 days after, because there's still that energy. It hasn't completely come full circle. So this is what I'm getting as I'm channeling through the Akashic records with this information. This is your time, like now, you need to start writing down and connecting with your desires. Maybe this is a good time to journal. Maybe it's a good time to think about what you want to manifest, what you want to bring to life, but not from your head, from your heart, from your desires, what you're feeling. Even though it might not feel possible in your head from your rationalizing or from when thinking about it, just connect with your desires and start to connect with that, the feelings around it. Maybe you do a little bit of visualization work of what you want to happen in the future. And maybe this is a time to like light a candle, do some rituals, like many of us do full moon and new moon rituals. Like this would be a perfect time to do some kind of ritual around your desires and manifesting. And really, it's an interesting time and a really optimal time for us to connect with that so those things can actually happen and bring those to life. It's also the beginning of a new cycle. So us truly believing that and feeling that and working towards that. And I think we're probably going to feel that we're going to want to connect with our desires more and more, and connect with certain sides of ourselves that we're not generally connected with all the time, because Pisces is all about emotions and feeling and going deep. So in order to connect your desires, you might have to go a little deeper than you normally do. And that might mean journaling. That might mean doing therapy. That might mean talking to a friend. That might mean taking time for yourself, for self-care, and being able to feel emotions and realize what's holding you back too, right?
You know what's funny? Because I usually read like 3 or 4 books at a time when I'm really into reading. And I usually go to like my shelf, like I'll have my ebook, but then sometimes I'll go to my shelf and be like, and I'll just like not think about like see which one I kind of want to grab. And the 3 physical books that I have usually next to my bed, which I'm reading like after I finally get Aurora down, or I finally finish my reading, or we finish recording, and I'll go into bed and read, and depending on my mood of the day, I'll read one of those 3. And I didn't even think about the subject they were about. I just randomly grabbed them. One was one that I was reading before that I started, which I'm halfway through, which is the remote viewing book. I
saw you sent that in the group, or was it on I think it was on your social media, right?
I shared it on my Instagram. I think it was one of my stories.
Yes, it was on your Instagram, yeah.
So I was reading that, so I'm already halfway through, and it's about remote viewing, so sending yourself somewhere to go observe something or get a target, right? And then the other one I started reading again was the one that teaches you to astral travel.
Yeah.
And then the third one that I grabbed the other day without even thinking is called Exploring this Fifth Dimension. And I thought I was just going to talk about, because it's this hypnosis, it's almost like Dolores Cannon, like hypnosis. And I thought the book is about more like what people saw when they were in the hypnosis. Like I didn't know what it was going to be about. And it ends up being, he's trying to, from his experience from hypnosis session, he's trying to teach people what practices to do to be able to physically take, well, not physically body, but take your astral self to the fifth dimension to explore it. And I'm like, the 3 books are literally themes that are sitting in my night, like that I'm reading every night, switching between them, and they're the themes of what's coming on. Like, you cannot ignore the energy that's going around you because it's literally smacking you in the face.
Yeah, we're probably going to find ourselves, more in that energy, wanting to go more in that energy, or even thinking about our desires and where we want to go. Like, this is such an interesting time to think about manifesting. So if you have like some type of manifestation practice, work on that now. I'm going to definitely be working on that now that we kind of brought this energy forward and we're talking about it. It makes me want to get more intentional with what I'm doing and how I'm doing it.
I think that people should always try doing the manifesting thing, but I think that this is the time that this is supposedly very spiritual. Like, this is time for you to up your spiritual game. Like, this isn't about tangible things. I want more money. I want a bigger house. Like, I want to change my job. Like, this is, for me, in my opinion, how I feel and how I sense it and how I've understood it, is it's about literally exploring the true version of yourself and letting yourself come out of this 3D. So it's come out of this 3D imprisonment that our consciousness is at and expand out of that. That's what it is to me. That's what I think that we should be focusing on, because we do have the rest of the year to fully concentrate on manifesting. But when will we get this opportunity again to try to astral travel with the energies to our favor, for example?
Yeah, this is really, it is optimal, like in every sense of the word. But I also think it depends. I think we should always be trying to manifest from different, if we're talking about manifestation, we're like, how are we trying to create our reality in different ways from the spiritual realm, from how we're experiencing that, from the physical realm, from even the material realm, because we can't escape that we are here in the material world. And how do we want to be living? And we don't want to be living in lack. We want to be living in abundance in every sense. How are we also trying to connect with ourselves mentally? Like, what do we need to work on? Do we need to cleanse our thoughts out? Do we need to change certain ways we're seeing things? Do we need to get more perspectives? I think when I connect with it, to me, it's at every level. Like right now, we need to be focusing on all. Maybe some of us will feel called to do more one than the other. That's cool, but I think we don't want to waste this energy, No,
definitely not. That's why when I did my 3D, 4D episode, I was trying to get people to stop concentrating on, trying to help people like gain a perspective to stop concentrating on whatever BS is going on at the time, because there's always going to be some BS behind the scenes going on. You can't stop everything on earth, and you can't stop all evil. You can't stop all agendas, and you can't, right? I was trying to get them to focus out so they can prepare for this time that was coming to their advantage. So, yeah, guys, just keep that in mind for the rest of the month and next month.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of us get emotional through certain things now too, because of Pisces. And, I think it's so important to connect with things at an emotional level with love, right? And I think every time I think of Pisces, I really try to connect with Aurora, like with my niece, because she's such a feeler, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful sign. But they're very deep. It's really
hard.
They're very
because
deep.
Toddlers are already emotional.
Yeah.
Imagine a Pisces child. Like, there's probably plenty of people listening that probably have a Pisces child. It's like, oh my goodness. Sometimes I'm like, I can't.
They're very sweet. They're very sensitive, but they can also get caught up very much in that dream and imagination, which that's a good thing when you're consciously doing that. But I think if you live in that dream world, then you're not living in reality. So I think right now it's a good time to balance all that energy out and being able to be like, okay, I'm here, I'm grounded, but I also don't want to like lose sight of the fact that I do have things I want to bring to life, these imaginations, these dreams that are there that I think about constantly, that come up, that I connect with. And how can I bring those forward with love, not with, doubt or fear? It's how can I truly and honestly connect with myself and know that I am deserving of these things, and being able to feel like I'm giving myself permission to have that, to give myself what I need.
I was just thinking that you're trying to aim to finish the editing of the course for us to put up in May, and that's a perfect time for people to start studying it.
Yeah.
Because it's the fifth dimension, and it's all about that. Like, so that's cool. Yeah. I think it's a perfect time to I guess the energies of the world made it release at the time.
100%. Yeah. I'm so excited for level 2. Sorry, I keep talking about level 2. It's because I'm immersed in the world of level 2 right now, not just because I'm doing readings, but because I'm editing all of it. I'm really proud of us and everything that all the hard work we put into creating that course. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I think passing that torch on to people is so cool. Like, I don't know. It's just it makes me emotional, makes me really emotional. I guess also Pisces, the Pisces energy. Yeah. It's crazy because I do believe in like signs that are like, okay, people with this sign tend to be this way. I totally believe that. But at the same time, it's insane how now that I have a child and I drop her off at school and I see the other kids' personalities and I start getting to know other people's kids even from like afar, they totally come downloaded with their own personalities already.
100%,
yeah.
It's not something that's only generated by experiences. It's probably, weakened or strengthened by experiences. But it totally brings me back to like what the Akashic Records once had said, which was that you come down with what they call the spirit, which is the program of the personality of the character you're coming to play. And part of that program is incorporated inside of your spirit via that natal chart, right? And so it's like, I really truly believe that we come pre-programmed to be this specific personality and have these specific abilities and traits, and we'll have also things that we're not great at that we probably have. Those are part of our lessons and things like that. But when you see children, you say, no, man, like Aurora's got her personality, that she does things that like she's not getting it from me. Like I've never done that. Where is she getting this from? Like, No,
definitely. We all have we were raised the same way, and we have completely different personalities, different ways of seeing the world. That's 100% comes with like your soul, and it's like a package. It's like I'm purchasing this package. It comes with all of this, the body, the mind, the personality, all of it. And I think that's an interesting way to look at it too, when we kind of sit with ourselves and we practice self-acceptance. I can do things to see things differently. I can do things to change certain things about myself so I can live better or to learn certain lessons, but your essence doesn't change. You are who you are. You can become a better version, of course, but I think it's becoming fully accepting of that version that you are now so that you can change those things later. And I definitely think the emotions are an interesting thing right now. I think paying attention to our emotions is going to be really interesting. And something I'm getting right now is kind of to end the episode on. I don't know if you have a lot more to say, but what I think we should do is, because we both have our Akashic records open, and it's really saying, what advice do the Akashic records for anybody what advice do the Akashic records have for anybody listening to this episode right now with the energies of what's coming for this week and moving forward into May, and anything that they want to say to the listeners of this podcast?
The first thing I'm getting is not to compare yourself to like the person next door or somebody else, that you need to be striving to improve yourself in whatever walk that you're deciding to walk on. So you don't have to be doing lucid dreaming, or you don't have to do astral travel, or you don't have to decide that you want to learn to read the Akashic, like whatever it is, that one thing that makes your heart excited or beat, the thing that makes you like look forward to learning more, gaining wisdom and knowledge. That's the one tool that you need to concentrate on, surround yourself with, or focus on during this energy portal time that they're calling like an energy portal time. Because it's almost like the way they're showing it to me, it's almost like we're getting this, it's like a tube of energy I'm seeing that's hitting us, that's enhancing our abilities. So it's almost like if you are able to do something, well, during that time, it's almost like it times by 2. Like you double it.
I like that. That's beautiful. I'm seeing also in the sense like the individual paths that we're each walking and being able to connect with ourselves, because obviously we talk a lot about the collective. We talk a lot about what purpose we have here and how we're helping others and how we're helping others awaken. But the energy I'm feeling right now is more an individual energy too. It's more walking your path, walking your truth, but also connecting with your emotions. I think it's an interesting time to heal, to really find our purpose, because when we connect with our desires, we're going to be more inclined, and it'll be easier for us to figure out what we're passionate about, what makes us tick, what brings us joy, and being able to create more of that. And I think that needs to come from us being a little bit alone, being a little bit on our own, taking time for self-care, taking time to listen to ourselves, taking time to journal, whatever that is for you. Make time for that, because it definitely feels like those will be the moments of realizations, the moments that we're going to be able to get to the conclusions that we need to get to, so we can take the steps that we need to create that reality and manifest what we want. And that doesn't necessarily have to be that easy sometimes for us, depending on what we're transitioning through. But some of it could be like what I'm going through, a little bit triggering, a little bit difficult, but I decide to do that with love and grace. And I decide to do that with patience for myself and not using my ego, right? I'm not better than anybody else. I am where I am. I accept where I am, but I also know I can change. And knowing that whatever anybody's going through, they're going through it. You can be there for them, but you're also going to be there for yourself, for you. And being able to put in the work and the effort that you need to manifest what you want, to create your new reality, because it feels as though, this energy right now is helping us. It's supporting us. It's bringing shifts and changes in a beautiful and very aligned and flowing. Like it feels like a very flowing energy. Like it doesn't have to be difficult to bring things to life, but it might trigger us in certain ways. It definitely feels like there's to be certain things we might get frustrated with ourselves, but then always bringing it back to love, always bringing it back to that Pisces energy of just compassion and empathy and love and just creativity, all of that energy, which is so beautiful.
Oh, I was just thinking while you were talking, what did I say? What did they say? Energy time portal? Is that what they said?
I don't know the exact words, but I have to go
back. The word
time
was in there, right?
I think so.
I already forgot. I find that interesting because I don't know if you felt it, but for the past 2 days, 3 days, Lorena, I swear to God, it's like I blink my eye and an hour passed. I blink my eye and another hour passed.
Me too.
I think that we're connecting to this energy, and I think the reason why they put the word time in there is because by us connecting to energy, it's like time is functioning different. When we're tuning into that energy type, it's like time is going on their fifth dimensional time instead of our. So I find it interesting they use the word time in there. I don't remember how they said it now, but
that's so weird. You just said that because the last 2 days, so today, which is the 6th, and yesterday, the 5th, oh my gosh, the day just slipped by. I blinked. I'm like, oh my God, it's 8 o'clock. I'm like, 8 p.m. What happened?
I swear to God, I feel like I'm going insane, and I'm literally getting angry because I feel like I can't keep doing this.
No.
I mean, you don't have you're now like on semi-vacation but you're doing that recording stuff, so you're probably consumed with that. But for me, it's like I have to be on top of the clock because I have to pick up her, drop her for her, pick up her, drop her for her, make dinner, bathe her, put her to sleep. Oh my God, it's past her bedtime. It seems like I'm never doing anything on time, yet I'm You know what I mean? Like when I look at the clock, I'm like, how is it possible? I just dropped her off at school.
That's interesting.
How is it I have to pick her up again? I don't get it. Like, yeah, it's really, I find it like, I had the conversation with Sander today, like after dinner, I said to him, did I ever talk to you? I said to him, did I ever talk to you about time? Cause like he, you had to tread lightly with him and spiritual stuff. And he's like, what? And I was like, time. Did I ever talk to you about time? And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, we have 24 hours in a day, but we once channeled with Lorena that the Akashic record said that we have about 19 real hours, like real feel hours, or I don't know what to call them, maximum. That's the real time that we actually have. And I think by then we're probably down to 16 at this point.
Who knows? It feels that way at least.
Yeah. And I was talking to him and he was looking at me like I was insane. I was like, I swear to God. And I was like, don't you notice like time just passes really quickly these days? And I don't know if he was getting it. I was so concerned about it, and it was really disturbing me because I can't do everything in the day.
But this is a good time then, because we're talking about manifesting and bringing things to life. How can you start to work with time? Ask for more time, ask for things to be slower, ask for more patience, ask for more time for yourself. Like that's the thing though, in my mind, what I understood the Akashic records made me understand is when you're vibrating in 4D, you're moving faster. Yeah. So, okay, wait. So, oh God, I forgot how it goes. Wait, let me remember. This was on the Patreon. How was it that they said it to me? You need to be tapped into 4D because it's like you're able to do more in less time. Mm-hmm. It's like I don't know want to call it superhuman, but it's like you're able to do more. You're like, oh wait, I managed to finish that. I feel like it took me longer, but I don't know. When the more denser in 3D you are, it's like it's harder apparently. It's interesting.
But then when I do spiritual stuff like readings or we record the podcast or I read these books, it's like time passes too fast. But it's probably because of my passion.
Yeah.
But I do think that time word that they used, I think that's happening right now with the energy.
I agree. I totally agree. It feels so weird right now. I wonder, like, I'd be curious, like message us, DM us on Instagram or Facebook. Let us know if you feel the same thing or you felt the same thing. Well, I don't know how next week will be when this comes out, but it definitely felt, like time slipping so quickly. And I don't always feel that way. Like I do feel like the day goes by fast, but not like this. This is just different. This morning, the alarm clock went off to get ready for school. And I said, oh, that's weird. I have the alarm clock set to Monday and Friday, but today's Saturday. Oh my gosh.
Why is it going off? Lorena, in my mind, it's just like I'm accelerated. I've gone to the weekend. I don't know if it's because I can't deal with this. It's so weird. I don't know I'm just feeling times. I'm not understand. I'm unbalanced. Like I can't get top to bottom. I can't figure out why things are going fast. And then I guess I'm feeling like time is slipping that we're already in the weekend or something.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, well, we hope this episode gets to you with a very open mind and that you can use this energy that's going on right now to really bring forward everything that you feel that you desire and that you are dreaming of, and making that conscious effort to do that and to listen to yourself. And we will definitely keep you guys posted on level 2 dates when they launch. And then, we still have our packages going. We do dual readings. We do individual readings all online on Zoom and Skype. So if you guys are interested in a reading with us, you can reach out to us on the links below. I'll have a form for Lucia, a form for me, and then we'll have an email that you can also contact. And you can always contact us on Instagram. So we each have our individual accounts, and we also have the Soul Tribe podcast account. So make sure you follow there. And also, if you're not signed up to the newsletter, make sure you do, because we will be definitely advising and telling people about the level 2 on the newsletter and on the Patreon first. So make sure you sign up. We'll put the link to that on the show notes. And I guess we'll see you guys next week with a new episode. We love you guys. Take care, and sending you lots of healing and love.
Happy rapid time. Thank you.